David Reyes.
Well, Breakout is the name of this week's show relative to what's happened with the market. But, you know, I think I want to leave a little caution here, and we're going to use the word divergence, which a lot of people don't really know about. And basically what that means is we're at all-time highs right now, but we have some things that are kind of working against us that are a little worrisome, kind of the caution flag. One of the divergences is volume. We're down in volume about 30 to 40%. Which is a concern. Number two, number of stocks at all-time highs. So you have the market pushing at all-time highs, but you only have 25 stocks out of the S&P that are hitting all-time highs, as opposed to December 31st when we hit all-time highs of 2013, we had 119 stocks. So, you know, what that means is you have, you know, less stocks pushing the market higher, less volume. And the third issue, which is a concern, is retail enthusiasm. You had net outflows from stocks for 6 years, and now the last 2 years you've seen net inflows. And generally that's contrarian, another divergent signal. Generally retail investors are wrong, according to the data. There's a study called the Dalbar study, and the average retail investor since 1984 is up about 3.9%, while the market's up 11. So there's some, you know, it doesn't mean the market can't continue to move higher. It just means that you need to be careful right now.
Yeah, we can tell you host a radio show. We got to like put the brakes on so I can make sure I ask you some questions. David, you know, I mean, so it's a confusing marketplace. Everybody's heard the expression buy low, sell high, or be fearful when others are greedy, greedy when others are fearful. When you have a market hitting an all-time high, doesn't that tell you that it might make sense to get a little bit more defensive? How are you advising the clients that come to you through ReyesPlan.com?
Well, the first one is the plan. And unfortunately, most people don't have any type of investment plan or more importantly, retirement plan or retirement distribution plan. So the first thing is have a plan. One of the statistics I love more than any other that kind of puts things in perspective is if you only got 30% of the upside of the S&P and you didn't get any of the downside, which actually is possible, then you would actually beat the market. So really it's one of those analogies, you know, the greatest offense is a great defense. So really have a plan, review your plan, and make sure you're not over allocated to stocks, which a lot of people were during the bubbles of 2000 and 2007.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about on the radio show this week is how a 401k plan, let me rephrase it, a retirement plan is not pulling money out of your pay stub and putting it into a 401k, though, you know, we love the discipline and maybe it's matched. That's not really understanding the script to that ending of your movie, which is your fourth quarter of life, which is how you're going to live in retirement. And I think it's so important, the information you gave on the radio show. Could you speak to that real quick?
Yeah, so again, depending upon where you're at on your kind of investment life cycle, you know, most of our clients are at or near retirement or in retirement. You know, we're looking to be a little more defensive and more concerned about income. So it depends where you're at. If you're accumulating, you can deal with a lot of the ups and downs of the market, and I wouldn't be as concerned. But if you're closer to retirement, do you want to, you know, ask yourself, do you want to go through another 2008, 2009, you know, tech wreck 2000? Can you afford a 30, 40, 50% drawdown? And for most people that are in that category, the answer is no. So you need to have a plan to mitigate the downside and to focus on income.
Well, great place to get a plan is by connecting with you. I really want to make sure that when people watch this show, we educate you and we empower you. But if you look behind you, Reyes Financial Architecture, David and his wife Julie, they have an awesome office. What part of town are you in? I'm so bad. I'm here to talk about real estate. I'm not sure exactly where. That's UTC, right?
Correct.
UTC,
yes.
La Jolla border, right in there. Great office. If you want to get a second opinion, a review, I encourage you today to go to ReyesPlan.com. All the things you're hearing about in the media, things like bond bubble, inflation, stories that you've seen about companies like Enron or the Bernie Madoffs. Look, you got to be really careful, especially when you have a market acting the way this one is. A second opinion would never hurt you. I encourage you to go to ReyesPlan.com. You see it on your screen right now. Thank you, David. Appreciate the Reyes Report.